We're talking to today and welcoming back Ted Sevransky, professional sports bettor out in Vegas, and we're going to chop up another game. We're going to talk about Sunday's ball games in the NFL, the divisional playoffs, and you know the old saying, Ted, it's like beating a dead horse, but there's a lot of stuff coming out when these horses are getting beat. There's injury updates, there's line movements, things of that nature. So Steelers and Broncos, what is it that you may have some new information since we last talked, and is there any edge or something that you like from one team to the other particularly, Ted?
Well, I mean, from everything that I'm reading, Pittsburgh's in a world of hurt right now. You know, and forget about Antonio Brown, who has been ruled out
Yes.
with a concussion. Antonio Brown's 40% of the Steelers' passing game this year. But the key to Brown, he makes everyone else around him better. You know, I mean, you don't see Martavius Bryant having the season he had without Antonio Brown taking coverage away, or Marcus Wheaton, or any of the Steelers' secondary receivers. Brown's the key, but it's not just Antonio Brown. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been able to practice all week. He's got a separated shoulder. He couldn't throw the ball more than 15 yards downfield when he came back in against the Bengals last week. And from all indications with this type of injury, this isn't something that's going to go away in 48 hours. So I do expect Big Ben to suit up, and I do expect him to start the game for Pittsburgh. But how effective he's going to be against the best defense in the NFL is very much a question mark for me. And, you know, we're talking about a team that's already without their top two running backs, that already has had some key offensive line injuries this year, a team that hasn't been healthy down the stretch, a team that underachieved for extended stretches. Those aren't buy signs, in my opinion. I think the Steelers are going to be really up against it when they go to Denver.
Yeah, and I hate to see any team come into the playoffs, especially a game at this level, and the talent that got them there, you know, have to miss the game. But that's what happens, and that's why injuries play so much into sports betting, obviously. You know, another key factor, Denver's got the #1 pass defense in the NFL, and Steelers are ranked 30th in that department. So I know that we're not looking at the same old Peyton Manning, but I believe he's going to be able to make enough adjustments to where he's going to find a way to take care of that secondary. There's two factors that stick out to me, Ted. The opening total was 48.5. Obviously, that's before we were confirmed with Brown and Roethlisberger. I still think Ben's going to be playing from what I read, but the line, I'm seeing it today, -6.5, obviously favoring the Broncos, and that's swinging all the way to -8. Any thoughts on that line movement and the total, or what that may do in the next 48 hours?
Yeah, and I haven't seen a whole lot of posted totals. The one bettable number that I've seen, 39.5. So that 48, I didn't see that 48 wherever it was. It didn't last very long before they pulled it off the board. But in my mind, you know, Peyton Manning's going to get the headlines. The reality is that if Denver is going to win this game and cover this number, it's going to come down to running the football. You know, Peyton Manning is not, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, but this is the tail end of his career. He was the 32nd ranked quarterback in QBR before his benching/injury. I didn't see anything in his second half performance against San Diego that indicated that Manning is going to be the elite level Hall of Fame Pro Bowler that we saw for the vast majority of his career. I saw him as a game manager, someone who can come in and, you know, and convert a couple of third down passes, but not someone who Denver was likely to rely on for success. So in my mind, for the Broncos, the key to their success in this game is going to be their ability to run the football. And if Denver can run the football, it's likely to keep the game relatively low scoring. We know that Pittsburgh's offense is not going to be a high flying offense this week, or we certainly expect that. And of course, the Steelers defense, as you mentioned, #1 against the pass. They got torched by Big Ben and company when these two teams met, just a month ago. A game that we saw Denver lead to 27-10 at halftime. And then a pretty strong second half comeback from the Steelers. They scored the last 24 points in that game in unanswered fashion. Denver's defense was embarrassed by that performance. They don't get torched very often. Now they get Pittsburgh on their home field, where they've basically shut everyone down all year, and it's a banged up Steelers team. I think that bodes well, as you mentioned, for the #1 pass defense in the NFL. Denver's defense is no joke. You know, Wade Phillips has coached more than one elite defense in his career, and this defense was put together in an effort to get one last Super Bowl run out of Manning. It's that caliber of defense, and that's likely to be problematic for Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also another interesting thing, I saw some expert picks on the total, and they were hovering around 37, 36, somewhere in there. So safe play, something you may throw out there yourself. Would it be a side or would it be a total? What are you feeling as far as banking the buck in this game, Ted? Steelers at Broncos, and knowing obviously everything that's going wrong with the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I want Pittsburgh this week. So my choice sidewise is Denver or nothing.
Yeah.
Of course, if you've missed and you talked about all the money that's poured in on the Broncos on Friday morning. I mean, this is a line that pre. Uh, I mean, there were a couple of -3s and -4s out there before they got pulled off. But
Mhm.
now since the line reopened, it was 6.5, 7, and now we're looking at 7.5, 8. Agree with the move, but you've already missed the best of the number if you want the Broncos as home chalk. Total wise, I can only look at the under in this one. So it would be Denver and under my
There you go.
recommendations for this
Okay.
contest.
I appreciate that, Ted, and we're looking forward to the ball games. Listen, thanks for being back with us, and we look forward to having you back again real soon to break down the next game. Good luck this weekend, and I hope you beat the book and beat them bad, Ted.
I appreciate that. I'll take all the luck I can get.